And we're live. All right. We're just going to chat here for a couple minutes while people start streaming in here. And as you guys come in, was that me?
No, that was me.
Oh, okay.
That was telling me that you were going live.
Okay, cool. Just in case you weren't there. Got a little alarm on your side.
Yeah. Well, it was the YouTube notification.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you went live. So at least you know you're sending out notifications.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I didn't know. Because I missed a whole lot myself. As y'all come in here, Madeline, how are you doing? And who we got here? GT Junior Grow. How are you doing? Cajun Hydroponics, what's up? Yeah, as everybody pops in here, let's see. Hello from Alaska. Yeah, tell us where y'all are at. Tell us where you're coming from here. Madeline, how are you? And let's see. I think my chat will be lagging a little bit if I don't have the YouTube one up here. So we're going to be talking today with Jeff from Grow Something with Jeff. And, hey, Farmstead Smith, how are you doing? And I think that's who my guest next week will be. What's up? So you're going to be on next week? And today we're just going to be talking with Jeff a little bit. Jeff, you just said you're from New York, right?
New York, Zone 6B.
6B, and you're dealing with a whole lot of snow and everything right now?
Oh, yeah.
So when did you stop? I remember you harvested, you cleaned up everything outside, and basically you're growing in your, is it downstairs or basement or something right now?
Yeah, I have a 10 by 10 room in the basement. So I got stuff started going down there. I started it later than I wanted to this year. I didn't start down there till like September. Hi, Jeannie. So yeah, I got a little behind on starting in the basement. So naturally I have nothing ready that I can eat, but.
Right. I saw you grew a whole bunch of your lettuce. You did the little side-by-side experiments and everything, but your lettuce looked pretty good too.
Yeah, the lettuce comes out pretty good. I mean, I'm still trying to figure it all out because I still get the little burnt edges on the leaves and stuff like that. So right now I got a couple DWC totes going, as well as a couple cracky totes, and I'm trying different nutrients. So I got Master Grow or Master Blend, and I got Maxi Grow just for the lettuce because that's easy. And actually, my mother-in-law wanted to grow some lettuce. So I figured I would try that, make sure that worked, and just have her use that. That way it's easy. She just puts a scoop or two in and she's done.
Yeah.
So
Rocky, how are you doing? Joshua, hello. Everybody else, whoever's popping in here. Lotus Petal, how are you?
Hello, everybody.
And, I didn't put my Facebook group in here again. I'm always bad at the lives because that doesn't populate, your defaults. I always forget to put it in there, but our Keep On Growing group on Facebook, Lotus is on over there, and Jeff's in there all the time, but Lotus has been putting a bunch of cool little pictures and that in.
Cool.
Jeff has a pleasant voice. He would make a good host. Yeah, see? Cool.
Well, thank you, Keely.
What's up? What's up, Luke's mom? And if y'all see Joel, I think that was my first comment. He popped in here. He's the one who won the microgreen growers last week, and I think he got my email wrong. I've been waiting for him to contact me with an address. So y'all see him pop in there, let me know. Doing well. Happy 2021. Yep. Yeah, I can't believe
it's better than last year.
Yeah, we're almost 2 weeks into February. We're a week into February already.
Yeah.
So I hope. When does spring usually start up there? You can see we're in like t-shirt weather down here already.
Yeah. I mean, normally April, May time frame.
Okay. So are you going to be growing a lot outside, or are you mainly doing your downstairs indoor garden, or what?
Yeah, I'll be doing, I do a lot of tomatoes and peppers outdoors, zucchini, cucumbers. I do a lot of pickling cucumbers because I pickle those.
Mm-hmm.
It just started actually doing some fermentation. So
yeah, I saw one of those.
do some fermented pickles instead of just the dill, stuff like that. So
Keely would be interested in that. She keeps telling me she wants to do like sauerkraut and stuff.
Yeah, it's that sauerkraut's supposed to be really good. Cut up your cabbage, shred it up, throw it in there.
Yeah,
and it's just a salt brine.
mm-hmm.
It's pretty simple. And I got a kit. It's a mason top, and it's got the little silicone lids on it that self burp.
Right.
They seem to be doing okay.
Okay, cool.
So we'll see. It's only been a little over a week, so
yeah. What's up, Joshua? Cincinnati getting snow too. Yeah, I saw some places up there was like -40 wind chill or something.
yeah, that's too cold.
Yeah, they're saying so like you could spend like 10 minutes outside or something and get frostbite.
Yeah, I mean we've been pretty chilly. I mean, we were at 19 the other day, and it said the wind chill was like -4.
Wow.
Which is still way too cold. But I mean, we've been a couple years ago. We had like 2 weeks straight of -10 wind chills. That's unusual. We don't normally get that cold, but it happened. Right. That's why I got to grow inside. There's nothing growing out there.
Yeah. So as everybody starts piling in here, it's 20 here right now. You just gave me. I just got goosebumps. You're chill just thinking about that.
You made me look at my phone. It's 19 here right now.
19. But
19, 20, what's the difference? It's cold.
Yeah. But if you all pile in here, like we said, Joel won the microgreen thing. I think we'll do that again towards the end of the show. We'll go ahead and I'll pull up the wheel. I'll try and find out where I had that. And we'll go ahead and do that and give away another one for this week. Jeff's come on here. Jeff has been growing. He grows indoors, outdoors. He does crack key hydroponics. He does traditional gardening outside. You do you do anything else besides crack key, like DWC? I know you had like the little arrow garden set up. What else?
Yeah, I have the arrow garden, which I've been growing peppers in mostly. And I just actually got an air pump about a month ago. Well, for Christmas, I got an air pump. So I have two containers that I'm doing the lettuce DWC.
Cool. I've got a pump. I've actually had to go and get one because that school that I was helping out and doing some videos for them. And so I just thought it was just, showing what I do and everything. So I shot the videos, edited, had it all ready. And then they sent me a thing, said, oh, by the way, we're giving the kids pump and air stone and all of this too. Could you have that in a video? And I was like, I don't even have a pump or anything, so I had to run out and get it and reshoot and kind of put that in too. I want a greenhouse indoors because of very bad heat wave. Yeah, it gets just nasty. We can grow most of the year around here, but summertime you have to grow in the shade. Takes a while longer than that, and sometimes it's just way too hot.
Yeah, summer's a little warm here too. I mean, you can't do, like a lot of the lettuces and stuff like that. They won't make it. They'll just start bolting.
Yeah. My pak choi is all starting to bolt right now too, and it's February. I've got flowers all over the place and bees.
Might be covered with ice right now.
Yeah. How do you kill the fruit flies and the root eaters of your tomato plants or any other kind of soil question?
So I think you're talking about fungus gnats. I would assume. And that's a very good question because I'm struggling with fungus gnats right now. I actually have, I've tried cinnamon. So somebody put cinnamon. So I sprinkled cinnamon all over the top. It helped. I got rid of a lot of them because I have two pots of aloe and I have a pineapple that are in soil. I don't see any fungus gnats over there anymore, but I still have my dwarf tomato that has fungus gnats. So I put cinnamon. I tried a little bit of DE on top. I put little cups of apple cider vinegar around where they were. I mean, everything seems to catch some, but not all of them. And then I actually went as far as covering the pot with aluminum foil, and they're still finding a way in. So Brad actually from Hidden Harvest Grow Light said what you do is you take slices of potato and lay them on the soil and leave them in there for a few hours, then throw them away and put more. He said it attracts the larva, and then you can get rid of the pieces of potato, which gets rid of the larva. And then you hang some blue or those yellow sticky tape. I have some of those hanging down there too. Those will catch the ones that are floating around. So I haven't tried the potato method yet, but that's probably going to be next because I do still have them. Nowhere near as bad as I did, but I do still have them down there.
I might try that too. I've never heard of that.
I haven't either.
With potato. Cool. There's now Brad over at Hidden Harvest Grow Lights. I'm not sure if he made one or what. Or I don't know if you've seen it. He has looks like a little fan.
Yeah, I saw
kind of like Alexa or something, and it's got a fan and it sucks them in, and you put a little strip of something and it has like pheromones or something that attracts them, and then they get sucked down and stick to a little piece of tape. But if anybody remembers what the name of it, there was another one called, I forgot what it was called, and it was on Amazon. It hit me in a little while, but some people were getting that and saying that worked pretty good, for like indoors.
Yeah, I remember his video on that, but I don't remember the name of it either.
Yeah, it was something I don't know, something simple, something simple so you'd remember, and I just can't. I had a lot of fruit flies as well, but the bottom feed of the plants and put sand on top of the soil works for me. Yeah, a little bit of sand on the top helps.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah.
If you get fruit flies in your house, and then they just like friggin' multiply, whatever. Something that worked well. I saw that online like years back, but I've always done this. You just get a little container with a lid and poke some holes in the top, small ones where they can just crawl in and not fly back out, and put a balsamic vinegar in the bottom. Okay. And you can just leave that around, and it attracts all of them in there. I mean, within a couple of days, you probably catch them all. I just finished putting veggie lasagna together. Cool. Oh yeah, we just grilled some and grilled some pak choy. Somebody up here asked, let's see, another thing. I'm new, moved from Puerto Rico. What's an easy veg to grow?
Easy vegetable. Are you looking for fruiting vegetables or just greens? I mean, a lot of greens are pretty easy to grow. I mean, and tomatoes are fairly simple. I mean, I've done tomatoes, peppers, pretty easy. Those are all pretty easy to grow. At least I've found that.
One of the big zappers. Yeah, and I grow mostly leafy greens. I mean, if you get started, if you have you grown before? Are you an experienced gardener, or you just new at everything? Tanglefoot? Is that it? It might be. Tons of those fan things on Amazon. Okay. Yeah, I know I've seen them somewhere. And they said it worked. We have fruit flies too. Yeah, the vinegar. She's talking about, the balsamic vinegar seems to work well with that. Thank you for the heads up though, because it's the only thing around my tomatoes. Cool deal. Interesting. I have basil in a pot, medium aeroponic tower, Dutch, and Mike's grills, and the downspouts is all growing the best. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I've seen your pictures in that, Lotus. Awesome. And if you guys go search Keep On Growing on Facebook and look for a group, join that group. Lotus over there, Jeff's over there, everybody. It's pretty cool. Everybody, I don't get in there all the time, but if anybody has a question, they just put it up, and people like sharing what they're growing. You don't have to just do hydroponics. You can have a traditional garden or whatever. It's just pretty cool. Thanks for the idea. Yeah, we're gonna go a little bigger on our traditional garden this year. Anything really, greens, maybe peppers. Okay, yeah, if you're doing like the hydroponics, these greens and everything are just, easy to grow in the crack key system. If you do like Jeff, now Jeff does check the nutrient solution, and he does check the pH and everything. So if you guys have got any questions about that, because me, I don't do any of that. I don't have any meters. And the reason why is just because I want to do it as simple as possible so that everybody can learn how to do it. And once I start doing that, then there's always a question. If I say you don't need it, people will always say, well, I've seen a video and you did it. So I will never use one as far as this channel goes. So I don't have it, but Jeff does. So if you guys have any questions about checking your nutrients and the dissolved solids, or you have any questions about pH and everything, go and put those in the chat now, because he actually does it, and it's the guy to ask here.
Yeah, I do it. I do it more for the fruiting vegetables. A lot of the lettuces and stuff like that. I'm doing it now in my DWC just to try to figure out why I always get the burnt edges on there. But a lot of the cracky lettuces and greens, I don't really do it. Like I'm growing a kohlrabi right now, using the Maxi Grow, and I didn't check that at all. And it's growing good. I mean, it's actually pretty close to ready to harvest.
Yeah, greens are easy to grow.
Yeah, I mean, I've grown Swiss chard. I've grown broccoli in there. I've grown lettuce, celery. You pretty much grow everything in cracky.
Yeah. Let's see. She has 2 pods in an air garden, and Jeff, you use an air garden, right?
Yeah.
She said there's 2 rates of growth. They have the same water flow, lights, and media and everything. Got any answers for that?
Boy, same water flow. The only thing I was thinking right off the bat was maybe the little spouts in there were plugged and it wasn't getting as much nutrient. But if they have good flow, I have no idea why they would give you different growth rates. That it pretty much feeds the same through all of those. Yeah, I don't know on that one. That's a good one.
Well, there's what I want to say is that everything's not perfect, and every plant's not going to be the same. You can plant out 6 of the same plant, and 4 of them might do really well, and 2 just might not be well, and they might be all in the same exact conditions. It's just that every single plant that you have is not going to, if you can give it all the optimal care and light and give it all the same stuff, and sometimes things just don't work out. And it's just like people, we're all different and everything. Your plants are different. You look out through a crop, it looks like there's a ton of veggies out everywhere. But if you actually walk down and look at each one, or if you've ever been in a field and walk, you know that there's not a perfect one, and everybody's getting watered the same, fertilized, and that just sometimes, you just can't help it. There might not be anything wrong. It just might be, that plant just might not have, been good. And that's the reason why we thin plants. That's the reason why you plant more and you thin back, is because some of them are not going to produce like the other ones, and you go back and you thin them out. So, if you just that's the one thing with the aero garden. If you just put a couple in there, you've only have a couple. It's not like, have something like this and there's like hundreds of them in here. You go through and you go, oh, this one's doing pretty good or something. You don't go down and, there's a little scraggly one or something down here. So, just because they're the same plants and in the same condition doesn't exactly necessarily mean that they're both going to, grow exactly the same.
Yeah, I've had that happen with lettuce. I mean, I put seeds in, they've germinated the same time, but one of them takes off and one of them kind of just lags behind for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. Soil mites. Let's see. Now I can't pronounce that, but he says Jeff says he uses that. So if anybody wants to look into that, I've heard about that, like predators. Hey, Buenos Aires, how are you doing?
Hello.
Fredo, along with sticky tape. Yeah, sticky tape.
Yeah.
That's a P.S. My 7-year-old science. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So you're in our group. That's what Keely. I was showing Keely all your stuff that your little 7-year-old's doing. Project was a Dollar Tree box with blue soil, a microgreen setup. His majority of outperforming all the ways except attempting to grow a salad mix, microgreens and peas. Awesome, cool. And get with me too. We might. I'm not sure what we can send out there or whatever, but Keely was wanting to send you a little something. My email is keep on growing 1G. Here, I'd do it again just in case. What's his name comes in here? At gmail.com. But shoot us an email, and Keely wants to maybe send you a couple seeds or something a little different. I am from East Texas. Do you know what's the best foods to start growing? I'm a beginner gardener, and all I'm growing now is pepper, mint, and aloe vera.
Geez, in East Texas, you could probably start growing. You could probably start just about anything. If you have no worries about a frost, I would think you could get some anything: tomatoes, peppers, zucchini, all of your zucchinis, cucumbers, that kind of stuff. You'd want to start early because I'm sure you get the heat down there, and they don't like that much heat. They do okay, but with as much as you get down there, I'd say I would start them early as possible. But yeah, you could probably start just about anything right now.
Yeah, that's we've got to get all of ours going, and we might get a late frost. You might get hit with it, but we always like to throw some stuff out there because, like you said, if it goes too long, it gets hot here really quick.
Yep.
So like peas and stuff like that, I gotta, I've got some sprouts and everything growing, hoping we can get some peas before it gets too hot. We did the cracking method decently. We did not grow any type of system really, just let the water sit. Yeah, that's cool. It worked fine. And we use liquid fertilizer. What fertilizer suggestion? Well,
So if you're doing, go ahead.
No, I just use Master Blend. I don't know if you know what that is. It's the Master Blend, calcium nitrate, and Epsom salt. And Jeff, you said you're working with a couple different ones right now, right?
Yeah, so anything leafy greens and rooting vegetables, I'm using the Maxi Grow. It's General Hydroponics Maxi Grow because it's just simple. It's only a 1 part, and you put 2 teaspoons in or 1 teaspoon per gallon, and it's real simple. Any fruiting vegetables, I use the Master Blend because it needs those extra nutrients. There's not a huge cost savings. Because the Maxi Grow for, I think it was like a 2.5 pound bag or something like that, was like $17. The Master Blend is like $30 for, I think it was a 5 pound. So it's like half the price. I mean, you do get the 3 different parts, but again, for leafy greens, you don't need them. And if you're looking for something easy for greens and root vegetables, I would go with the Maxi Grow.
I'm gonna have to try that again. I did it. I moved here 3 or 4 years ago. I used it, and the Master Blend came out better for me. But I order that because I put it in the kits and everything, like 25-pound bags at a time. So I've got it sitting around.
Right.
But if that's something easy, because I always get questions. I put instructions in there and everything, and but I still get questions. I have like part A and part B because you can't mix them together, before you send them. They'll turn out like a little block. And if it's something easy like that, where it's just a 1 part thing, I might go ahead and switch over to that just to get people started. And then after that, they can always order Master Blend like on Amazon or anything like that.
Yeah, because I've actually had nutrient lockout in a tote because I didn't mix them properly.
Mm-hmm.
And because you have to, I mean, I know there's a lot of channels out there that show, and I think you even showed it where you just throw it all in there and spray the hose in, and a lot of times that works. But there's an occasional time where it actually will lock it out. And I had both my plants just died. I mean, they just browned up, dried up, and died.
Yeah.
And that was 20 gallons.
Yeah, you dump one at a time in there, mix it up or whatever, and what do you call it? They used to have like real, like detailed directions, like doing it in 2 separate things and mixing them together. And but now in the directions, it comes like the one that you get on Master Blend. It just says throw a teaspoon of this and throw a teaspoon of that in.
Yeah, you have to put the Master Blend, then the Epsom salt, then the calcium nitrate, because that Epsom salt has to buffer between those other 2 ingredients when you put them in there. And if for some reason it can go bad, I like I said, I lost 27 gallons. It just wouldn't grow anything.
Oh, wow. Yeah, one is triple size ahead of the other. Oh, wow. And I'm perplexed. Baker Creek Chinese multicolored spinach. The second one has a set of leaves. The other one's still a baby set. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, without actually seeing the setup and everything too. But you can, go. You're in our our group. Show us little pictures of that. We use Master Blend. Yep, yep. Let's see, grow things, like for sure. Yep, yep. Grow things, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's what, where I'd like to try a couple different things and put things in there, but that's why people are like, why do you grow so much pak choi? It's because I eat a lot of pak choi. It's like I enjoy, I can go out there and just cut some, throw it in here, do a stir fry. There's so many different things you can do. Whereas if I grow something like, like cilantro, I throw it in a couple different dishes, but, it's a stronger flavor and there's, certain there's only so much you do with that. And so I don't grow as much. So yeah, whatever you like, grow a lot of it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lockout. Explain lockout. Yeah, I think that's what you were just doing, right?
Well, yeah. So it basically it doesn't allow the nutrients, the plant to take up the nutrients. So each part has to be separate in the water, and it doesn't separate properly so that the plant can actually take the nutrients as it needs it. So it's basically just nutrients sitting there that the plant can't use is kind of the easiest way to, without looking it up, getting scientific.
Yeah. And let's see. 1 second here. Yeah, and explain a little bit. Yeah, so that's the nutrient lockout, and explain a little bit about like all the the plant needs. Like the the NPK and everything that's in there. But explain to them a little bit about what happens or what can happen.
As far as the lockout?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it really just it doesn't. I mean, basically, that's the easiest description would be it's not readily available for the plant to take up. I mean, it's almost like the nutrients just kind of, I guess, stick together type of thing or something like that. So it really doesn't allow the plant and any way to take it. It's kind of like almost like a slow release fertilizer type thing, right? So that takes a long time to break down into something the plant can use. When you get nutrient lockout, those nutrients just become unavailable for the plant, and it can't take it up like it's supposed to be able to.
Yeah, that could, and
it looks fine if you check it with a meter. I mean, your pH can be right on. The nutrient level shows that all the nutrients are in there, but your plant just can't uptake them. Yeah, so Master Blend can be used for both. So if you want just one nutrient and you're going to be growing fruiting vegetables and you're buying Master Blend, there's no reason to go out and buy any other nutrient. I just did it to, like I said, to see if I could find something that was very easy to use, that would work just for the leafy greens. So I can get other people, I could show them how it works. And then, like I said, my mother-in-law will use it, and it's something very simple that she can use and just throw in there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's why I like things simple. Like I said, it's something that my mom would be able to do. And Adrian, before you go on, you can get the stuff on Amazon if you just want to give it a try. Because she's going to be on my show next week or whatever. But just email me. I put my email in there. I should just pin that comment, and I'll send you a sample. And it's a one tiny little sample, and it's enough to make 5 gallons, and that should be enough to get you started just to test it out. Let me see if
General Hydroponics has, I mean, it has a few, they have a lot of different nutrients. I mean, they do, I know there's somebody who said the Flora series. The Flora series, I guess, I mean, I haven't tried it. I know other people have tried it and it works good too, but you really supposed to use all 3 parts, even though you don't need the bloom part for your leafy greens. It has other things in there. So I don't think it's something that you can take and say only use part 1 or part 2 and skip the other part. Maybe it is. I've never tried it, but I've heard that you need to use all 3 parts if you're going to use the Flora series, even if it's just for leafy greens.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people just using, like I said, just the floor, or just the one, just using it for the leafy greens.
Yeah.
But um, give me 1 second here, Adrian. I'm gonna make you a mod, but I'm like signed into my wrong YouTube. Let me switch my account over to Keep On Growing. I'll make you a mod, and then you can drop your link to your channel. I would ask my wife, but I don't think since you're new, I don't think she knows what yours is. Keep On Growing. Just getting a little feedback there. So if anybody has like other questions too for Jeff, like about using a meter or checking your pH and stuff like that, like I said, now it's time to ask, because and Jeff does. So if you got any questions about that or adjusting your pH, go ahead and throw that in the chat real quick.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Farmstead. Yeah. I'm lazy too. I want it simple too.
Throw that in the chat real quick. Sorry about that. All right. Now let me get. There we go. I was wondering why I couldn't pin that comments, because I was signed into the wrong thing. Add moderator. All right, Adrian, you're a moderator, so you can drop a link to your channel if you like. Let me see if I can find one where I had Keep On Growing, and I'll pin my. There we go. All righty, back on track. So I pinned the email up there if y'all want to email me about that. You can find it on Amazon. Let me see if I can catch up here. I think what's happening in my tower, the EC pH is fine. Film inside the container, but started to yellow. So is that one of the garden towers? Mike's Amazon is where you can find the nutrients. Yeah, so yeah, that's my Amazon shop, and then I've got a couple of. I think they've got the kit. I'm not sure if they're out of those yet or not. They run out of those fast. MaxiGrow has use. Cool. TPS and AB. Presently, I'm using TPS A and B. Okay, so he's using A and B. Is that for even just for the leafy greens, or do you have fruiting vegetables too? MaxiGrow has actually worked for my microdwarf tomato. Cool. Oh, cool. Despite being a fruiting plant, 6 months of constant fruit. Awesome.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it on a fruiting vegetable.
Yeah. Many proceed in pet packet. Cool. That's awesome. And if I haven't said hey to anybody, let's see. I know I'm way behind in the chat. Let me try to get through here real quick. I use MaxiGrow, Maxi Bloom. And hey, Jeannie and Gina, how are you doing? Let me see.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting the Maxi Bloom too and trying that on a tomato. I got the Grow, like I said, just for my mother-in-law to try it and see if it was easy, and try just to do leafy greens. But yeah, I was thinking about doing the Grow and the Bloom and seeing how that worked too.
Yeah, Miracle-Gro gang. Now, Miracle-Gro, I did use you have the Hydroponics, and what do you call it? They have their nutrients for their little aero garden, right?
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I ordered that one time. It's a little liquid. And
the Aero Garden has, yeah. But
yeah,
that one. Miracle-Gro had one.
Actually, Aero Garden is Miracle-Gro.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And so you can order, so everybody always asks about Miracle-Gro, but that's not made for hydroponics. It doesn't have all the other micronutrients and everything that you need. It just has NPK. It's like stuff you put in your garden.
Yeah.
So people, because that's water dissolvable, they like to ask if they could use that, and it just doesn't work. And many people have tried it. Unless you're going to add all the other stuff to try to figure out. And I have no idea what's in Miracle-Gro itself.
Yeah.
But they do have the one that's for their aero garden. It's not really cost effective. I did it just for an experiment, but I ordered it. It takes like a little cap full in one of my downspouts. And it worked fine in that. But like I said, if you're ordering like liquid, you're paying for the volume of it and shipping and everything. That's why the powders and that are a whole lot cheaper.
Yeah.
I use General Hydroponics Floramax for leafy greens, one use. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and give that a try again. Like I said, it's been about 3 years. Hi, Elephant. Yeah, hey, Elephant. Popped in here.
I have never used Fox fertilizer. I've seen it there, but I've never used it yet.
Yeah, if now lots of these other ones might work. They work fine, and the one thing is, like this channel, we try to do everything as easy and as inexpensive as possible. There's a whole lot of hydroponic nutrients out there, but some of them tend to get a little pricey. Now with the downspouts like that I have that I sell, and you see my videos, it takes about 1.5 gallons to fill one of them up, a little 30-inch thing. So that's not that much. But if you get into like deep water culture and stuff, I don't know if you guys saw, like when you first start researching cracky, they show, like the floating rafts.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you build it out, it takes like maybe 60 gallons or something to fill it up, to put your lettuce on top. And when you start getting these other hydroponic nutrients, you're 30, 40 bucks, for a couple of bottles, and you're dumping a bunch of them in there to grow a couple heads of lettuce. And then you have, all this nutrient stuff left over, when you're done. So, that's why I got into the master blend, was because I didn't want to be paying more for the lettuce than, what putting more in than I was getting out. And but some things work. So you can, you guys can try things, but if you're doing the cracky too, you're not having any aeration. And so that's a little bit different too. All these things that you see, there's traditional hydroponics has been going on for years and years and years, decades. And they're all under the same premises that, there's water circulating and it's aerating, and all the different conditions that a lot of these growers, they all do their own thing. Some of them have their own, proprietary things that they do themselves, but the general consensus, the way they do hydroponics is basically the same. Now the cracky, you're not having circulating water or aeration and everything. So you might get something that works for like commercial growers, and it might not work just the same for the cracky stuff. And that's why when people found out, that the master blend worked, when you start doing it, and if it works, you just kind of stick with it. So don't be afraid to experiment with stuff, but don't be under the impression that just because it works for traditional hydroponics, that it's going to work exactly the same in the cracky system. It may be a little bit different. There's one for you, Jeff.
Ideal pH range for leafy veggies. So most pH range is pretty much the same for everything, 5.8 to 6.0. Lettuce, I think you can go a little bit higher than that, even up to like 6.2 or 6.4. I think it would do okay, but ideal range is 5.8 to 6.0.
Cool. Thank you, Adrian. It's a simple step formula, $28 per pint. Let's see. Have you used that? Do you dechlorinate your water?
No, the only thing I do is I will normally let it sit for a couple days before I put the fertilizer in. And actually, I have one tote now that I just filled it up with tap water, left it, and put my nutrients in it just to see what would happen. But normally I let it sit for 2 to 3 days before I add my nutrients and plant anything.
Yeah, that's what I do too. I haven't used that. I usually just do like you said. I just set it down. Let's see. Joel Keely said Joel is in there. I will let him know. So what do you let me know, Keely? I must have missed this in the chat here. Joel, did you see? I pinned my email up at the top. Make sure that you're doing it to the right, using the right email. It's Keep On Growing and a 1, because somebody else had Keep On Growing when I went to go get it. So it's keepongrowing1@gmail.com. And we were looking for you, bud. Joel's the one who won last week. What we're going to do is we'll go in here and I'll spin a wheel and we'll give away a microgreen grower. You get like 2 of these. And it comes with soil, and I just get some seeds and throw some random seeds in there for you to give a try. I think that's down in my shop. I've got a whole bunch of them packed up in that. So y'all had me busy last week. That's pretty cool. See, I tried tomato plants last year outside in pots, and they performed really well. I was surprised. Awesome. Yeah, I got to get tomatoes. I had a bunch come up, and then we had this freak storm come through and just tore everything up.
So why did I decide to grow indoors? I decided to grow indoors because I couldn't grow outdoors because of the winter, and I wanted to get some fresh veggies. That's why I decided to start, and then I just kind of jumped in with everything. Normally, you're supposed to start small. I didn't do that. So the first year I actually grew, and what I think was my biggest triumph was I was shocked. I grew a big beef tomato in the basement, and it was actually up to the rafters. I actually had to clip the growing ends off just so it would stop growing up in the rafters, and it gave me quite a few tomatoes. So I was impressed with that, and that was probably one of the best plants that I've grown so far in the basement. Yeah, fruits and vegetables are terrible in the wintertime, taste-wise, from the store.
Oh yeah, that's the only thing is when you grow your own and you taste it and you get used to it. Even if you just do it 1 year and you do it through the season, then also when it's gone and you start buying it again at the grocery store, you miss it, and then you also feel a little pissed off because you're paying a lot of money for something and it tastes like
yeah.
Doesn't work with city water. Takes a lot longer to evaporate. Oh wow. Okay. I'm gonna have to look into that. Here, I got another question. You ever have a plant go into budding and then right back out of budding? Have you ever had that?
No, well, I mean, my stuff doesn't really bud downstairs because it's got pretty much optimal temperature. It's between 68 and 72 degrees in there the whole time I'm growing. I mean, it's not as humid as I would like, but the temperature wise, I really don't have anything that should go to seed or flower or bud down there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've never had that. Usually, all of our stuff once it starts going to seed, you're sitting there fighting it. At first, you're pinching the little heads off and trying to make it last a little longer, but then it's nature just takes its way, and I've never had it just stop. Right now, my pak choi, everywhere we've got like yellow flowers all over the place. I was going to harvest them, but then we don't have a lot of bees over here. We moved into the city, and what do you call it? I saw a few bees, so I let the rest of them flower, and hopefully they go back home and tell their buddies where stuff's at. And I've been seeing more. I've seen like 24 out there like last couple of days, so I was kind of tickled about that. So I'm just letting everything flower and go to seed, even though it might not actually form a seed because we're still in winter here.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool to see all the bees flying around and everything. I figured they might be having a tough time finding food to eat, so I just let everything flower. Let them have at it.
You can save seeds then too, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, my magnifying glass. Cool. I might have to get mine. I have to keep looking down at this chat. If we keep live streaming, I'm gonna have to have this in a big screen up here where I can watch the comments. On my handy. Yep. It's snowboards, snow peas. Oh yeah, I love peas. I love having peas growing and just walking, even when you're gardening and just walking by, just picking some off and eating them. But little sugar snaps and everything.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's so much more I would love to be growing in the basement. I just don't have enough lights. I have more room. I just don't have enough lights to do it.
Yeah, Adrian, with the chicken eggs, we had chickens. We missed them. It's been like about 5 years. But Keely had like 24 chickens, and now I can't. If I go to the store and I get the wrong eggs, I catch hell about it. She's like, it's got to be the ones that are like $7.99 a dozen or something. It's like the happy eggs or whatever it is. If I go in and just get like Publix eggs, she's like, I can't eat that.
Yes, plants are good. Celery is good too. Celery with a little peanut butter or cream cheese.
Yeah. That's that if y'all like basil, that cinnamon one that I was using, just walking out and just when you rub on cinnamon or basil, you can just smell it. It's in the air and that. and it's cool. It kind of has that licorice smell, but it also has like cinnamon too.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. But you go along. That's why I like having mint growing and different things. You while you're out in the garden, you just pick little pieces off and just gnaw on it. Stevia. I got to find some more stevia plants. The neighbor's cat decided to come over. I planted it in the ground.
Yeah.
And this one will come back every year. And this year, the cat decided to lay down on it and roll all around and tore it all up and smothered it and squashed it. And it's got cat hair all over it. I was like, because that's what, when you make smoothies and stuff, you don't need sugar. You just get a couple of leaves of the stevia plant off and throw it in there, and it sweetens it.
Does it have the aftertaste like diet?
No, not at all. It'll have a little bit of a green taste, because it's a green leaf, kind of like you're having like you chewing on something green. I like grab a little piece of stevia and a little piece of mint, and it's just like eating candy.
Huh. Might be something else I have to try.
My dog ate my glasses. Can you please email me? And I have tried to email you, but it always fails. Okay, yeah, I'll email you when we're done with this. And what happened in the chat? Living life. How are you doing? Lasagna's done. Awesome. She made a little veggie lasagna. I have 20 chickens. It's hard to buy eggs. Feels so wrong. Yeah. Miss our chickens. Yeah. Hawks. We had coyotes. Coyotes got most of our chickens. Yeah. Some came through. The happy eggs. Yeah, those are the happy eggs. Heck yeah, peanut butter on celery.
Yeah.
Benjamin said, that's right. Happy eggs. Yeah, $5.99 for 18 versus 5 for 60. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so I end up having to, me and the boys or whatever will eat like whatever eggs, and Keely, I'll get her the expensive ones. She'll like fry one up, and then all of a sudden she'll be giving one to the dogs or something. I'm like, hey, give the dogs a cheap eggs. Like almond butter. Yeah. Strawberry mint. It's the best thing ever. Oh, cool. I'm going to have to try that. I've never had that. Keely had, we have the chocolate mint and an apple mint. Both of those are pretty cool. I'm going to have to look for that one. That sounds pretty cool. I'm attempting to sprout stevia right now. It's taking forever. Yeah, it does. Stevia now. I've got a couple seeds. I'm going to try and grow some from seed, but I had a plant. Once you get the plant going, or if you ever find one in the store, you can always trim it like basil, and it takes a whole lot longer, but you can also root it that way. And I'd got a couple plants growing, and like I said, I had them out there. Friggin' cat took care of them. So I'm going to try and grow some from seed because there's no place around here has any stevia. Pimento cheese is awesome with celery too. Yeah, Keely's a pimento cheese person. No aftertaste, like Mike said, a little green taste. Yeah, a little green taste. The aftertaste with the sweeteners and all that's with the other stuff, the filler that they have to use with it. And then as far as like stevia and stuff, is kind of a bitter taste, but the aspartame and the what is it, sweet and low and all of those.
Yeah.
That's just the chemical makeup or whatever that makes it kind of taste like that. My neighborhood does not allow chickens. They're very noisy. Yeah. Our dog back here just constantly raises hell, and they're gone. And it's just, if you guys have noticed in some of my videos, I'm inside and he's so loud out there, you can hear him in the back of the muffled. But like I said, you're not allowed to have chickens. But my rooster was really loud though. He'd wake up the whole neighborhood. Ben just went to see if we have celery in the fridge. He wants to try it with almond butter.
Started a new fad now.
Yeah. I want a strawberry. Yeah, we'll look for that, Keely. I want chocolate mint, but apparently it's hybrid, so you need to plant and cross cutting seeds. Cutting versus. Oh, okay. No, I didn't know that. We had just got ours from someone at a farmer's market. Stevia needs heating mat and fresh seeds. It's a pain to start. Okay. Might have to get I got a little heating pad, but I'm gonna have to try and grow some. I like almond butter and a few raisins. Anyone ever tried to grow monk fruit? I use it as a sweetener. Have you?
No, I haven't. No, I heard you can actually use it as a sweetener, but I've never tried to grow it.
Yeah, I haven't tried to grow it either. That sounds interesting.
I don't know if it would even work here where I am.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're up north. It's in my living room. It's about 75 degrees. It said up to 21 days, so I'm waiting. Whoa, yeah, that's a long time. I'd probably forget about it by 3 weeks before it even sprouts. Yeah, Keely's wanting monk fruit. Monk fruit is a tree. Okay, so you get yeah. If it's tropical, it's just yeah, it won't work up. No, you're gonna have it. I believe it's like a little bigger. I don't think you could even have it in a pot where you can take it in and out.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. All right, cool. I think it caught up with the chat. If I missed, I just kind of skipped around there. If I missed any questions in that, you guys got any questions for Jeff? Just pop them in again. Like I said, I'll try to catch back up, but I think I'm down here. Or Jeff, you can see the chat too on your side, can't you? Or
Yeah,
no?
I got the chat up.
Okay. If you see anything and I miss it, just tell me to shut up for a second and you jump in there. Joys of Bear Gardening, set it and forget it.
Yeah, unless you grow oversized plants like I do, then you got to make sure you go and water it twice a week.
Yeah, that was my problem. I had an air garden way back in the day before I started all of this. And a couple of things, like if you grew like lettuce or something, some leafy greens, but if you get into like tomatoes, they can like suck it dry, and then you have so many spaces on there. But once it gets a little big, you can't have, it can only hold so much, with little 1-inch holes in there. And
I have two pepper plants growing right now, and the one pepper plant is just huge. I didn't know it was going to get that big. I actually trimmed it just the other day because it's growing out from under the light, and it's not going to get any light, and it's going to die off. So I trimmed all of the growing tips on that just to try to make it so it'll start to ripen what's on there, because it has a ton of peppers on there. I've never grown lemons inside. I know Brad at Hidden Harvest Grow Lights, he grows the Meyer lemons, the dwarf lemons.
Yeah.
He grows them inside. But yeah, I've never done anything like that yet.
21-day germination.
It's a long time.
It's in a living room. Yeah.
Some of your super hot peppers can go that long.
Yep. Yeah. One thing, let's see, basil too takes a little while longer. I know that when I plant out these microgreens, a lot of the other ones will all just sprout up like in a couple days and that. And basil and the cilantro like seem to take a little bit longer. Yeah, the moringa is awesome. I got some seeds because they sell the moringa seeds. People eat them. And over where the international food is, they had moringa seeds to eat. I just planted a couple. I threw them in the soil, and I grew like a dozen plants. But now they're like trees, and trim them back every year. So it's pretty cool. Got to run. Yeah, we'll catch you later, Adrian. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next week too. If y'all pop in next week, Adrian's going to be our guest, Farmstead Smith, and you can just, Keely, can you find her channel, Farmstead Smith, and pop it in the chat if you get a chance? I've gotten an arrow garden. I would rather put money into seeds.
Yeah, they're a bit pricey, but I do like them because like I said, I'll actually grow in the arrow garden a lot of stuff that I've never grown before, so I can taste it to see if it's something that I want to grow outdoors in the spring, like those new peppers that I have. I've never had them, so I'll see how they do in there. But yeah, that's kind of, I'll do that too. So I grow the staples like the lettuces and stuff like that, and some cucumbers. But like I said, I'm growing kohlrabi right now because I want to taste that, see if that's something I want to put outside. Different varieties of peppers or tomatoes I'll try to grow indoors to see if that's something that I want to put outside.
Yeah. And Hua says he saw a video of a guy growing trees such as citrus and avocado in fabric pots. It's pretty cool.
In hydroponics too. Yeah.
Yeah, hydroponics. My sugar rush peach pepper took 21 days. Then dog tipped it over. Oh, that's why I grow like fast growing leafy greens and things. I hate to put a whole lot of time and effort into something. And like I said, I'm on the road a lot. This past year, I've been home, but the past 20 years, I've just always been on the road, and you put all this time and effort into it, and then I have to get called away for like a week or something. I come back and like everything's dead, or breaker tripped or something. And so that's how I got into the quick and easy, and then that way, right now everything could die outside. If we could have a hard freeze, everything could die, and I'd still have like microgreens growing, and I take those out, put them in the downspouts, and within a week or two, I'm already getting baby greens, and starts the cycle all over again.
Yeah.
Thank you, Keely. That's Adrian's channel. If anybody wants to go check that out, she's going to be our guest next week. Y'all can get questions ready for her in that, and she's going to be a guest, and she's a traditional, like it's just farming and gardening and everything. So if you got any questions, I figure I'd bring all kinds of other people on because I talk about just the hydroponics and basically the off grid, but some people have questions about other things. So I figure we'll bring some other people on too. Kohlrabi is great. Oh, cool. I haven't had it in there.
Yeah, I've never had it at all.
Yeah, it's like just like a little root vegetable. Looks kind of like a turnip.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like I said, it's about the size of a tennis ball right now.
Oh,
so
cool.
Probably ready to harvest, and I grew that in the Maxi Grow as well.
Oh, nice. Got them in my tent down in the basement, and I've got some lemons. Wanted to get started, and a pine tree. Like, cool.
That might get a wall for the basement.
Yeah. Going on 3. Sounds good. I love basil. Yeah, basil's awesome. Tastes like candy canes. Air gardens are cheap in Facebook. Oh, really? Mine are 25 or less. Oh, cool.
That's good to know. I'll look there. I wouldn't mind getting another one or two. Nice, real sun. I'd love to see some real sun.
53 degrees out. My dwarf tomatoes, the real sun. Awesome. Yeah, we're right now. It got up in the 70s here. Real nice. Have you tried mango? I had mine for 5 years. Oh, and it died and just dried up and locked. Oh man, I hate that. That's what I say. I hate having something around for so long, and then we got a couple avocado trees, but I know they're probably not going to make it. Never fruited. Let's see. I had a breaker trip. Yeah, lucky for me, I caught it in an hour. Yeah, that's what happened to me. I was like on the road one time, and it was during the middle of summer too, so it didn't take but like a day, without. I had like the NFT system going, and it trips, and I don't have backup pumps and everything and all of that stuff. Kohlrabi soup, I have it and quarter it and place it in the broth and start cooking the soup. Oh, cool. Yeah, you're gonna have to give that a try. Try, Jeff.
I'm gonna try it raw too.
Oh yeah, I haven't had that. I know we eat stuff root vegetables like jicama and stuff. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually gone away and my arrow garden ran out of water.
Oh, did it? Yeah.
I came back and my plants were not in good shape.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have a huge reservoir. I mean,
No,
most of the stuff I grow, I try to put it in, like the true cracky, like, set it and forget it. So put enough water to last for its whole growth period, and then you don't have to do anything with it. So like the cucumbers and the tomatoes, I'll put one plant in a 27-gallon tote, and I'll just let them go, and hopefully they have enough. I've had to actually add to the tomato because it wasn't indeterminate, and it kept growing. So I had to add at the end until it was time to just let it go. But
yeah. Besides leafy greens, what do you think are easy veggies to grow? I'll let you answer that real quick, Jeff. I'm going to grab my.
All right. Yeah, I mean, so easy vegetables to grow cracky. I mean, like I said, I've grown peppers, cucumbers, broccoli, celery, tomatoes. They were all fairly easy as long as you set it up. And like I said, I try to give it enough water so you don't have to add all the time, because once it gets too low, you got to just be careful of how much water you're putting in to refill it, because you don't want to drown the air roots of the plant. So, I mean, if you have it in a big enough vessel that it can go for a long period of time, I think that's the best and easiest method to grow anything. Like my kohlrabi now, I've been adding water as I go, but I've only been putting in a half a gallon at a time. So it's a lot more maintenance. And if you're around all the time and you don't mind the maintenance, you can use smaller vessels to keep adding as you go a little at a time. But yeah, I mean, tomatoes, I've had pretty good success with tomatoes. The broccoli came out really good. I had 2 in a 27-gallon tote. That was too many because they do suck up a lot of water. I didn't realize it, but I had let it run out, and the plant knew it because the plant started to bolt on me, and I didn't realize what was going on because I didn't even think that it was going to use all that water and never bothered checking. So, I mean, if you set it, I mean, they're pretty much everything is, I found it, you know, like I said, tomatoes, peppers, those all grow pretty easy. As long as you just set it up right and let it go. Pretty much all leafy greens seem to be pretty easy. I've done basil. I've never done some of the other, like the stevia or some of the harder ones, but I've done collards, lettuce, bunch of different kind of lettuce. I'm actually trying to do radish right now. I'm going to see how those work. But yeah, I have not put out any cracky kohlrabi yet. I do have videos of it. I was going to probably put one video all together from the beginning to the end and kind of a timeline on how long it took. But yeah, I will do a video on the kohlrabi. I've been filming a video here and there as it's been growing. Broccoli takes a long time. The plants were huge. You got to have a lot of room. I mean, they grew a good 2.5 feet out of the tote, and they spread probably 2 feet wide as well with the big. The leaves were huge. I have a couple videos on my channel back from last year, I think it was, that I grew it, just showing you how big the leaves were. But it does take a long time. I don't remember how long now off the top of my head it took to do that, but it took quite a while.
Yeah, I grow a bunch of broccoli just for the greens.
Yeah, I did it for the heads, and if you want the heads, it's going to take quite a while.
Yeah,
it's like a 60 or 70 day vegetable, I think, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Now this is like 30 inches. That's a 3x4 downspout. This holds about 1.5 gallons when I fill it up. Do you know about how much like the Aero Garden holds?
The Aero Garden will probably, the one that I have, they're all different sizes. So I have the Bounty. It's the 9-pod system, and it probably holds just a little over 1 gallon. And I have the Aero Garden Sprout, which I'm growing the micro dwarf tomato in, and that holds about 0.5 gallon.
Oh, okay, cool. So this holds about the same size, about 1.5 gallons. When I take the microgreens like this, and when I pull those out about that size and pop them into here, this sits for like a month without doing anything. So you're not having to check it, and before it even goes down, you know, before these guys start to grow any, you know, this will sit for like a month. So it'll be like 1.5 months before you even have to go in there and fill it up any. But yeah, the Aero Gardens, like I said, if anything gets like, you know, to any size or whatever, you kind of got to keep an eye on that. And after a while, doesn't it, when I had mine, I don't know if the design has changed, but like the roots, there's like a little aerator in there, but there's not a whole lot of room. It was like, you know, roots were like growing all over the place. And I don't know if it, you know, after a while, it seems like, you know, there's not a whole, unless the new ones are a little bigger, seemed like it, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of room in that little container.
There's not. There's still the roots take up every bit of space. And I've actually, one time I went in there and lifted it and cut the roots off.
Okay.
And just put it back in. Thank you, Living Life. But yeah, I mean, I like it because you would think, now apparently not always, you would think because the roots don't have as much room, the plant wouldn't get as big, right? So it kind of stunts the plant
Mm-hmm.
so that it would fit a little better. But like I said, the pepper that I have right now, apparently it doesn't care because it's just going crazy. I mean, I'm sure it's smaller than it would be outside in the dirt, but it's still big. And yeah,
Yeah.
and they have the lid on the Aero Garden actually comes apart to where the water flows up through the track, and there's little spouts in each hole. The roots actually grow up in there, and they're growing out in all the little holes.
Yeah.
Spots. So yeah, they're all over.
Thanks, Jeff. Let's see. I'm experimenting a couple of onions in the crack key system. Cool. What do you call it? I grew a couple. I didn't grow like big bulbs. You know, we grow up green onions, have those all the time. And in fact, we get them like once a year, and you know they last all year. Now that's one that will actually bloom, have seeds and everything, and then they'll still, you know, be growing like an onion. I've grown a couple of things with the cracky, like you had like the kohlrabi. I grew like turnips and a couple other different roots. I just took the net cut, and some of them, I don't know what you do, Jeff, or whatever, but I had a bigger net cut. This one's like a 2-inch. I had like a 3-inch net cut, but I had like, you know, the water levels down below this. Now I have the bulb in there. You know, I actually had like 2 inserts. One was like to stop it, you know, where the roots went down, and then I had another one over the top of the bulb itself to kind of, you know, act like the earth, you know, covering up a bulb. And one thing with cracky is, you know, that there's no pressure on it. But I kind of had that, and I grew like some turnips that way. I was kind of surprised because anything else like potatoes or any kind of roots would just kind of get all kind of funky and wonky, and carrots and things like that.
Yeah, I'm actually trying the radishes just in a 2-inch net cup with a Rockwell cube, just to see what it does. I mean, it's neat to me because you can see what it does, right? And so I can watch it as it grows and see if there's maybe a better way to do it to get a bigger bulb or something like that. But since I've never grown it, I got to get the experience of most likely failing the first time and see what happens after that.
Yeah, that's what it always takes a couple of times, and that's what I get a lot of questions in that too. You know, people, and I said don't get discouraged because, like, you know, like us, if we put like videos up or something, I was doing experimenting for years before I like decided, you know, to put a video out. So, you know, you just might have to try it a couple times, and you'll see all these different videos from all these gardeners and everything. Everybody makes it look kind of easy. You know, you're going to have a couple, you know, some things aren't going to work out right. You're going to have to, you know, trial and error a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, I do mine. I do the videos because I can't tell you how many times I've gone back to my videos to say when did I actually plant that because I forgot to write it down, or what seed there because I don't remember, I didn't write it. And I show it all because, you know, I want people to see it. You know, it's, yeah, this worked out good. This didn't work out good. You know, don't bother wasting your time on that one because it's just not going to happen type things, you know?
Yeah. Joshua, what is you're thinking about going hydroponic system? What is the best solution to go with? Question. So what's the best solution? Are you talking about what's the best nutrients to use? Set up on Amazon question so I can look for work. I'm not really understanding that. Set up on Amazon question so I can look for work. And I always use, like I said, I use Master Blend. Jeff used Master Blend. He's using some of the general hydroponics too. I've been growing bok choy for a long time and started to grow yumming greens. Cool. My wife, some Vietnamese market. Yeah. And they started to grow back. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's what I grow sweet potato leaves. They eat that all over on the other side of the world, and over here, like, you know, people don't even know about it, but it's like it's hard to grow spinach down here because it's just hot, and it's hard to get it to germinate. And then once it does, they'll start growing, and then you know, it'll die. But we use this as a substitute. It's another leafy green, and it grows wild. They use it for like decoration. The landscapers, you go around and there's all these vines with all these leaves. It's actually sweet potatoes. They plant sweet potatoes out here for like landscaping.
Wow.
But it grows wild like a vine, and you can just eat the greens. You can look it up. They stir fry it and everything. I like the name you use to describe your growing house. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Joshua, cracking hydroponics is an inexpensive way to grow. Yeah, that's what, especially if you buy it in bulk like I did. I mean, a 25-pound bag will last a long time, unless you've got like CB and he's got like greenhouses set up. He's mixing like garbage pails full of, nutrients. But I think he goes through 25 pounds like in a couple of months or a month or two.
Yeah.
I got a huge radish hydroponics about 8 years ago. Oh, cool.
Nice. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen this time, but that's what I'm hoping for.
Guys, I got to bounce. We'll catch you later. Hey, what do you call it? I don't think there's much questions. I'm going to go ahead and let me get the wheel up here. We'll give away one of these, the microgreen grower. Y'all give me 1 second. Jeff, if you want to give any parting words or tell them about your channel a little bit and tell them why they should come over to see you, and I'll get the wheel up here. And yeah,
I mean, like I said, I try to grow a little bit of everything. I try to experiment with things I've never done before. I use it as kind of a test to grow things I've never grown, to see if I want to move them outside. And I show everything that I do. And if I do something that's not on video, I tell you what I've done. I try to keep it as honest as possible. I don't want people to think that, you can just throw some water in something and it's just going to grow and it's going to be great. I have a lot of issues. I have a lot of trials I got to go through to figure stuff out. And I just like sharing that with everybody, and hopefully people find it interesting and people can learn from it. So check it out if you want to, and let me know.
Cool. Yeah. And Jeff's in our Facebook group too. And he's over there. And if you hang out over there, whenever you drop a video or something, you drop a little announcement over there too, don't you?
Sometimes, yeah. Not all the time. I don't want to flood all the channels, but here and there I drop one, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna type something in the chat. I'll just put keep on growing. All right, everybody, after I type this, everybody just type I'm in or something.
Extreme.
Yeah. Just type I'm in the live stream, and I'll give you all a couple of minutes. Was there 26 people in here? I think I got 26. I'm up to 24. I see 23.
Yeah, Mike has that effect on people, Jeannie.
I think I've got up to 24. So if it goes a little, I'll just go. If it's 24, I'll go over that. But let's see. I'm in. Okay, everybody start typing I'm in. Bok choy's off, and I started growing. Yeah, I love the bok choy. And like I said, I've got to try and find that variety that I had before, the Shiro, because right now it's got long white stems. Yeah. And it's good, and it's a little more tender. But the one that I had before had real thick stems, which were crunchy and stir fries, and I love it. I've got just a little bit of seed left. I'm waiting for spring. I'm going to try and plant some and let those go to seed and see if I can save some of that. But I can't find it anywhere.
It's I'm ashamed to say it, but you're probably one of the first channels that I've found on YouTube for hydroponic stuff, and I have yet to grow bok choy.
Really? I think some people, it's not their cup of tea either. Somebody saw my videos, ordered it, grew a bunch, and then he was like, I don't really care for bok choy. Yeah, that's good.
I don't know if I like it or not, but I've just never grown it. Thanks for coming, Ho Extreme.
Yeah. All right, catch you later. Did you put I'm in? All right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and spin. I don't know why it did that. Let me hit refresh and see if it comes back. There we go. Hey, only part of the numbers. Things probably glitching there. All right, we'll try that one more time. and then I'll count down. I think I put it up on the screen. And the chat, it's going to be what comes up in my chat, because everybody else's chat, you know, we all lag, so it's all different. So
hey, how you doing?
Names. All right, we can see that. I'm in the live stream. Hey, Colleen, how are you?
Hello.
All right, everybody's in. All right, let's spin it, and then we'll go through and we'll ready. Ten. All right, now let me share.
Good, thank you.
Let me see if I can get my chat up here. All right, cool. Go down to the bottom. All right, I'm going to go back up to where I started. Y'all can see that's keep on growing. And we'll count down 10. Cammy's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Big Al's outdoor excursions. Alrighty, Big Al. Let me write that down. Congratulations. Outdoor excursions. All right, Big Al, up at the top of the chat, I pinned my email, and make sure you get it. It says keep on growing without the G, 1@gmail.com. And that might be a clickable link up there. Not sure. Probably not. But email me and get me an address, and I'll get that to you. Let me pop this down. Cool deal. So appreciate it. Yeah, congrats, Big Al. Let's see one more real quick. Good. How are you? TT, Urban's Pantry, how are you doing? Nice to see you in here. Let's see, where do I go to find out about Honda phone systems question? When +1 is the best to, let's see, go with the question, the simpler, easier. That's what I meant to say. Find a Honda phone systems. I'm not real sure. You can always email me about that, and I'll look it up for you. I'm not really sure what you're asking there. Honda phone systems questions. Does that have to do with the hydroponics or anything? Do you understand, Jeff?
No.
Okay, Big Al. Yeah, go ahead and email me there, and I'll get you one of those shipped out this week. And
Hydroponic system.
Joe. Okay, Honda phones. Yeah, I was going, what? What is that? All right, let me try that again. You were really confusing me. I was going Honda phone because I drive a Honda. We can find hydroponic questions when +1 is the best one to go with a question, the simpler, easier.
If you're looking to do Cracky or DWC hydroponics, go to your local bakery and get 5-gallon buckets with lids. And I mean, you can those still do need to be, you probably need to be painted, because if they're white, they will let light through. I put a dark color on it. If it's indoors, you don't have to worry about the heat. So I'll just paint them with, like, I had like purple in the garage, so I painted it a dark purple. But that's the cheapest. I mean, you can turn anything into a Cracky grow system. Any kind of buckets, lettuce, and you want to average kind of about 1 gallon per plant for leafy greens that you're growing. So if you're going to grow a head of lettuce, something that's at least 1 gallon should be fine. Anything, I put a couple in there, try to get like a 2-gallon, something like that. But yeah, anything that'll hold water and that you can keep light out of, you can Cracky in.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I love it. And there's I'll probably go into it more, and I think I'm filming one video with the different containers in that too, because there's a couple other things. Different plants have different root systems, and some of them don't work. Some won't work, well in a real deep one. It's more
Yeah.
shallow, but basically too, the bigger the container too, like you try to get 1 gallon. That's what Cracky did. Dr. Cracky was 1 gallon was for 1 head of lettuce, and basically the premise was that you grew it and then the nutrients were used up. You had a head of lettuce and you weren't really doing all this refilling and everything.
Yep.
But now he's gotten into where he's putting in a float and keeping the level up. And so, there's different things to do, but there's a couple different considerations, and not all plants. So you guys experiment. When I experiment, I try with like little small batches first, like this only holds like 6 plants, and I'll try different things because some things work well in it and some don't. And there's some like the pak choi, the roots don't get really long, whereas like peas, have like a real long tap root, so the size of the container, you're going to have to like experiment with different things and just have fun with it.
Yep.
Yeah, the Honda phone. Yeah, that was confusing me. Congrats, Big Al. Alrighty. Let's see. Have you seen Dr. Cracky's latest video? He's a genius. No, I haven't seen his latest one. I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah,
but if anybody wants, the guy who came up with all this started it. He's got a channel. It's called Decaying Approaches. Y'all can go check it out. Here, I'll spell it. It's actually like Hawaiian Decaying. If you look up that right there on YouTube, you'll find his channel, and he's a real cool guy. Go back and watch like his early little talks that he had and everything.
Yeah, I just watched one the other day about the cucumber floating raft.
Oh yeah,
the float valve, and it keeps it full. And
yeah, I bought a float valve like years ago, and I've never put it into one of mine. I'm gonna go ahead and maybe do one. I've got one. I think it's like 3 years old.
But I was thinking of trying to do something, not necessarily a float valve, but almost like again, something cheap. So like a 2-liter bottle or a gallon milk jug. And
yeah, have you tried? I don't have the jug here, but you can always take. Have you tried that? The only problem like with this is flip over, but like on your big totes,
yeah,
or something, you put something up because it's heavy, but I want to use something big like a gallon. But if you put that in there, you fill this up, and you take and you have this filled up, and you flip that on top of it. Of course, that would grow algae, but you could always do like that, and that would give you like an extra. I want to use this maybe like a half gallon or something. But you could see this actually going down, even if you painted it dark, you would be able to tell where the water level is. And that would keep this at a constant level wherever the bottom of that came in. So that's what I was experimenting with. The only things with my downspouts, I said I'll have to have them strapped down, or else, the squirrel will jump on here, and all of a sudden, like everything's, going to be flipped upside down. But yeah, that's a good idea, Jeff. That's something else that, I've been messing around with out there, and I've been saving a whole lot of little bottles and jugs and everything, seeing what's going to work right. And I thought it looked pretty cool. I have downspouts lined up in like a little bottle in each one of them, so just like haphazard. But there's all kind of things you can do.
Yeah, and then you don't have to worry about refilling.
Yeah,
if you keep that full enough, it'll work just like a float valve. And it'll keep it topped off, and you don't have to worry about drowning your plant or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, you fill it all the way up, so when you put your first little microgreens in there and plants, it's touching the roots, and as it evaporates and goes down, then it's going to kind of keep the level. At least I think it'll work like that. But
yeah, the 27-gallon tote's going to be a little bit harder because with the 3-inch net cup in there, you have 5-6 inches of space before it hits the water. So I'd have to put maybe like a PVC tube or something on a jug to where it's at the level that I want it to stay, and then kind of put it on the top and let it feed down that way or something.
Yeah,
All these ideas going through your head, you know.
Yeah, this guy, he said this guy used the pet dog automatic water
Yes.
system. Yeah, that sounds very cool.
Yep.
Hi, Mike. Hey, Jeff, my first time watching. Awesome. Nice to have you here, Abraham. How often do you live question and answer? Is pretty cool. I'm going to be doing once a week. So Mondays, I just figured Mondays I'll hop on here. It's, it's beginning of the week, and I get all my orders and everything caught up, over the weekend. So I'll be doing this Mondays at 8 p.m. And in fact, we're going to be on next week. Somebody was in here earlier, Adrian. She's a farmsteader or whatever. She'll be in here next week. So we'll jump on once a week, and I go have a little giveaway once a week too, and have some fun, at least for the foreseeable future. And everybody there's other stuff, like this. Keely's been, like, she had the mural up here. We've sent that off. We're also Keely's painting stuff for kids in need. And right now she's going to also be doing home and garden. She's going to be doing faux finishes. So you can see it's kind of patched up. We had to go through and put joint compound and then come back and sand it, but I'm going to paint a base coat, and she's actually going to do another finish. So that's other stuff we're going to be doing on here. It's going to be like a home and garden. And but if anybody knows any kids out there, like my wife, she just painted like the little Iron Man one. If you go back and watch a couple videos before, she just shipped that off, and we do several of those a year. And if you guys know anybody that have kids that are like either special needs, or they might have a chronic illness or terminal, or any kid that just needs help, or like something like that they would just like it, and it just bring a little smile to their face, just pop on my email, it's up there, and let us know about it. And when Keely has some extra time or whatever, she'll just put it up there and paint it, and we'll ship it off to them. We might even do like some live streams where while she's painting, I might just turn on the camera, or that other channel I've got, the Lazy Duo. I might just turn on the live stream and let people watch her paint.
Yeah, that was a cool painting.
Oh, cool. Appreciate it. She has fun doing that. Anyone use UV light in the water? No, I used to. When my Keely used to have a big koi pond. And, man, she had a koi that grew like huge. And it wasn't that big of a pond, but we had it outside. And a friggin' hawk came and picked it up, and we didn't know. And it was so heavy he couldn't carry it, and he dropped it. And it was, like we were on the roads, and we came home, and he was just laying in the yard, and he had the claw marks and that on him. But what do you call it? To keep that pond nice and clear, we used one of the UV lights, and it just pumped through it. It was a little container, and your water flowed in. You had your pump, and it went through the filter system, and then it went through this little container that had a UV light on it, and that killed most of the algae. So if I just had something set up like CB, where everything's all hooked up together and going in through one container, I might do that, hook that up in a series with it. But with this, I've got like 30 or 40 of these, like all over the yard, so there's no way, for me to use it, for anything like that. And that's why I don't really check anything with a meter or do the pH or anything like that, because I'd have to go around and do 30 containers, and that take me all day checking it, adding a little pH up or down, checking it again, and then going on to the next one and the next one. And, it probably took me all week. And by then I'd have to go back to the first one and start all over again. So if you got all your stuff all hooked together, it makes it easy. But
that one does a good job at dropping the pH of your water to almost where it needs to be. So
does it?
Yeah.
Hydroponic, yes it does. About that, yes it does. Yeah, sure does. Cool. Sent you my address. Awesome, Big Al. We'll get that in the mail. Congratulations.
Hi, Dana.
Hey, first live stream. Nice having you here. So cool meeting all these new people. You're so inspiring for new growing practices and inspiring blushing by. Hey, no problem. That's what it's all about, right? And everybody, if you learn anything, go out and tell somebody else. That's like the pay it forward thing. Like I said, you can either like just share some of these videos or share some of Jeff's videos, or Or if you're, what a lot of people do is they're growing the stuff. If somebody comes over and sees something unique like that growing in your yard, they're going to ask questions like, what are you doing? And then just tell them and explain it and tell them or show them, we have videos where you can just use the milk jugs. We drink a lot of almond breeze, and I just put the jugs, rinse them out, put them over in the corner. And then after a couple of months, I go out and plant them all out, and you get a garden out of that, and you didn't pay anything. That was something that was going to go in the trash, so people like seeing that, and you just start, just share that, just put it out into the world. I think we're going to go hard on that this year, is just really just sharing and getting the word out to everybody. Like we said, we can't feed the world. We can't feed the world, but we can teach the world how to feed itself.
Yep.
Started growing into downspouts and followed your instructions. Awesome. Cool deal, Big Al. First time painting an Iron Man. Yeah, that was cool. Some people, oh yeah, they were like real, it's just like Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, you got them all over the place.
Everybody been saying, oh, that color's not exactly right or whatever. And my husband's watching Iron Man in the other room. Oh, cool. What did you say about treating algae?
Well, he was talking about the UV light, but if you're talking about if you get algae in one of your cracky hydroponic growing vessels or whatever, you can use 3% hydrogen peroxide. I actually got some algae on some of the roots on one of my plants. So I actually pulled the plant out and ran it under my chlorinated water and washed it all off and got it off the best I could. And then I made sure I covered the bucket and put it back in, and I didn't have any more algae problems. So I didn't even use the hydrogen peroxide. But you can add a 3% hydrogen peroxide mix in with your water, and that helps to keep algae down as well.
Yeah, and another thing too is like the containers, we were saying you could take them and paint them black, and a dark color and a light color. And we usually do that because if you paint a dark color and set it out in the sun, it's going to absorb the heat and it'll warm up real fast, kill your roots. So you want to get it light. Or the easy thing to do is to get, if you've seen my little rack that I grow my microgreens on, that reflective bubble wrap they have in by the insulation in Home Depot and Lowe's, comes in a roll. I got a piece right over here. I'll grab it for you. You can take that and wrap it around the bucket. Here, just take a second. You can entertain them. Got little pieces left over.
So Kimberly, yes, city water is safe. Like I said, what I do is I'll fill up a bucket and I'll just leave it sit for like 2 or 3 days, and it basically dechlorinates itself, and then I'll add any nutrients and stuff in there. But I grow out of city water for cracky and for DWC all the time.
Yeah, I just let mine sit for a little while too. What's up, Canadian Proud? Awesome. Another first timer here. Okay, you just answer that. Yeah. See, so it just looks like this. Just looks like it's bubble wrap. And it's got foil on both sides. But you can just get, your buckets. And so if you don't want to paint them, you can always take this and just wrap it around there.
Yeah, anything that's moldable that won't let light through it.
Yeah.
You can tape it on there.
If you get a Gorilla, like Gorilla Glue,
you've
got Gorilla tape that's weatherproof. And that's all I do is I just put this around, put a little of that tape on, and it sits out there in the weather. I've got one that's been out there all season.
Yep. You're welcome.
That's
that worked fine. That worked great for that container.
Yep, there you go. Let it sit 24 hours. Cool deal. Let's see. I bought a cartridge from Hydroponic store near me, $40. I have, let's see, my water is bad here. Okay, yeah, I heard some people say their water's pretty bad. I think somebody just, I had that one video where it says the reason why I don't use meters and stuff like that. And they came on and just said that their water's so bad, it's basically like calcium coming out of the faucet.
CB,
what's up?
One of these days he wants to learn how to grow in hydroponics.
Someday. CB, are you? Let me check this. You're a mod. You can drop your. I think everybody here knows you, CB. But if you want to, you can go ahead and drop your channel there, where everybody can look up CB's house and garden. CB, you want to pop on here one Monday night? I don't know if you work or how long and how late you work or whatever, but Adrian's going to be on next week. If you want to pop on the week after that and chat about your greenhouses and that, you can. We lived in Julie Blend and the water was so bad you couldn't drink it. Yeah. I actually got used to, we lived out and we had well water and there was a bunch of sulfur and I got used to drinking it, but anybody that came over was like, you know, if anything you made tea or anything, you could kind of smell it in it. And like, what is that? Like, well, it's not, you know, you're used to drinking stuff that smells like a swimming pool. Yeah. You know, it's just a little different. Make sure your city doesn't use chlorate too long to evaporate. You can look it up. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't know if ours does or not. I mean, like I said, I leave mine usually for at least 2 days, and then I grow in it, and I've had good luck with it. So,
yeah, that's one thing everyone can do too, is just go experiment. Is go get, you know, like it doesn't take a whole lot. Like I've got these are going out, you know, that's a little takeout container. You know, everybody has that. I grow and some that are like from KFC or whatever, you know, wherever you get these little things, and just grow some stuff and just test it and everything too. And, you know, or if you have anything you can make into a little cracky container and experiment with it. And, you know, that's what most places, you know, that I've lived, just the stuff coming out of the tap was doing just fine. And I know people get into, we'll get a lot of people come on here or like some of my videos, like commenting that are like real hardcore hydroponic people. And they're like, you know, you got to use double reverse osmosis and you know, and do this and that and everything. And I'm like, well, you know, I've been growing for 8 years and, you know, something's going right. So, you know, the more you can do and the more you're willing to do, the better. If you got the time and you've got the money, if you got thousands of dollars and you want to, you know, I could have my whole garage decked out with all kinds of hydroponic stuff and lights and pumps and alarms and auto dosing stuff and everything. And, you know, but how much, you know, veggies are you going to grow? You know, how much are you going to eat, you know, yourself and that, you know, if you've got the time to do that and you've got the wallet to do it, that's fine. There's awesome things that you can do, but
yeah, you'll get a lot better results. I mean, if you do everything the way it's supposed to be done, you know, the results will show.
There's another thing too you can do is collect your rainwater if it's legal in your city.
Yeah, you got to check that too, right? Because a lot of times rainwater is more acidic than regular water.
Yeah, can't promise, but I'll try. Okay, yeah, if you want to, anytime, CB. And not just that Monday. I'm just doing this every Monday. If I don't have anyone on, I'll just come on here and just yak with myself. It's just trying to get everybody lined up. And like I said, and if I need to pop on another night during the week, you know, that's cool too. I live in the desert. We don't get enough rain to use rainwater. Yeah. Takes up to 2 weeks for chloramine. Wow. Yeah. I'd have to have buckets of water sitting around everywhere. They'll bother with it anyway, so you haven't seen many different termination rates. Yeah.
If it's mine, then it doesn't hurt it any because I'm not letting mine sit for 2 weeks.
Yeah. I can't drink city water. Yeah, she makes me go get distilled water.
We have a filter on our
thumbs up. Hey, appreciate it. Something is very wrong with just drinking water. Oh yeah, is that 8? Yours was 8?
Oh, it's about, well, it was 8 after I let it sit in the tote for a while, which I didn't understand. Normally when I check it out of the tap, it's about 7.4. But I left it sit for like, geez, those totes when I first started, I let it sit for probably about 2 weeks at least. And when I checked it, it was like 8.0 or 8.2.
Oh, wow.
I have no idea how it would have jumped that high. I mean, I know the temperature change affects the pH in the beginning some, but I wouldn't have thought it would have affected it that much.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things wrong with me up here, CB. So, you know, the pH is just one of them. It's probably not the most important one.
Yeah. Trying to find the cheapest nutrients. Amy, it depends on how much you want to grow too. You can always look at Morgan County Seeds. Is where I get the Master Blend from. They're pretty cheap, but I buy it in bulk. And sorry about my links. I'll go through and check them. That's one thing with Amazon. It's not like I own the store. Is I find the stuff that kind of pertains to what we're using. You know, if I order something, I put that link in Amazon. But when they sell out of it, you know, that's Amazon is like a bunch of different sellers. It's not like Amazon is one big company. They have a bunch of different sellers. So if I put that there and they sell out of it, then all of a sudden that link doesn't work. But usually if you go on, if I put something there and that link's not right, are you talking about the link just to my store or the links that are in the store itself? Usually they'll have like similar products down underneath of it. So if it's like the Master Blend, if that one's out of stock or not working, they'll have some more. Let me check on.
You can look for hydroponic stores near you too. I mean, I was shocked. I looked like last year or a year and a half ago, and I could find like one. And now I look and there's like 4 of them. And they have a lot of different nutrients that you can use. I mean, it doesn't have to be Master Blend if the shipping is a bit too much. I mean, Amazon Prime, you can usually find the shipping 2 days if you're a Prime member for free. But if you can't, there are a lot of different nutrients that you could try using that are designed for fruiting and for leafy greens at a local shop. That's where I got my Maxi Grow. I actually bought it at a local shop here.
Wow. Yeah. Let me see this real quick. Thanks for letting me know that. Let me fix it really quick for you. Yeah, the link's not working. But it's actually amazon.com/shop/Mr. Doozy1. And I don't know why it looks like it's right.
Yeah, Lotus Petal. I found I'm checking my DWC containers and my Cracky containers, and my pH is jumping around too. It continues to rise. I've been adjusting it weekly. One actually went down a little bit, and the other one went up a little bit. So I'm a little confused as to why it's jumping around like that. But yeah, I'm finding that I have to put pH down in one of them and add a little bit of water into the other one, which I know is going to affect the nutrient level in there, but I don't have to add a lot. So lettuce is pretty forgiving, but yeah, mine are bouncing around too.
All right, I'll have to check that. Thanks, Amy, for letting me know that. I don't know why, but the link looks exactly the same. And if I actually go on to Amazon like that, it works. But when I click on it from underneath of there, it's adding a couple extra characters at the back end of it, and it's not coming up right. That's gonna suck for like people looking. That's gonna like mess up a lot of stuff. I think the Etsy shop too, which is right. When you click on it from here, I wonder if YouTube's doing that. It's adding a and 2 question marks.
No hydroponic stores near you, TT. That's not good. Maybe you should open one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fun with the kids. Yeah, cool. You've been growing like crazy. Yeah, it's fun. I'm glad, getting kids all interested in that too. Hydroponic store me is 2.5 hour drive. Yeah, ours is we lived in Gainesville in this big college town, so there was a bunch of hydroponics there. But they had a cop sitting like just parked all the time, and they take pictures of license plates, and then they look you up and see who was coming and going, and buying like lots of stuff. So I didn't know that. I was in there in and out, buying all kinds of stuff, and people were like, you're going to be on a watch list. Stores are amazing. Stuff at your knowledge too. Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, I went in and I ended up staying for like a half hour, 45 minutes just talking to them about stuff.
Master blend from Power. Yeah, I got it from Power Grow Systems too. That was one when
I've got them from them too.
can nutrients sitting in a container without water flow kind of layer off may affect your levels. Yeah. Oh, I thought it said it can. Oh, can it? Nutrients sitting in containers without water flow kind of affect the layer. Then it may, let's say, get your levels off. Yeah, I mean that's what the cracking system is just it's just sitting there, and it's to make it as simple as possible. Like I said, if you can get water flow or aeration or bubbler, or, you can get stuff in there. Anything extra you can do helps, but it's not necessary. I've had some that sit out there for like 2 or 3 months, and I'll grow plants and cut and come again and that before I even mess around with them.
Yep.
Already harvested Swiss chard and mustard. Yeah, cool. I got to grow some more Swiss chard on mine. Kick the bucket. Right.
Yeah, I purchased through the Master Blend through Amazon as well, and it came from Power Grow Systems. So they have a shop on there as well.
Yeah. Cops hang out. Yeah. The cops were watching us. They just legalized it in Arizona. Cool. Has affected hydroponic nutrients availability. Yeah, everybody's out getting. Yeah, you have to probably just get stuff online. Don't forget, give thumbs up. Hey, thanks, Big Al. And I keep going, people, when I grow oregano, it's oregano. Yeah, we've got oregano growing all over too.
Yeah,
I love having oregano, thyme, sage, just all of that. When you just go outside and just pick what you need. You go up the store and you're paying like $3, $4, $5 for a little tiny package of it, and you can have like a whole bush growing outside.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the taste of hydroponic versus soil? Cool. We'll answer that real quick, and then we're going to wrap it up, Jeff. I know there's like 30 people in here or whatever, but we'll be on next Monday. And Jeff, you can come back on anytime you want. And we can have more than one person on too. So, anytime you want to come on and chat with people, you're welcome to come back. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, so honestly, I can't answer that because I have never grown leafy greens outside. I've only grown them inside. So I've never grown them in soil. Now I know regular, like I've grown tomatoes and I've tasted the tomatoes. See you later, CB.
Catch you later, CB.
I grew cherry tomatoes downstairs and I grew the same plant outside. The outside cherry tomatoes actually were a bit sweeter than the ones that I grew in hydroponics. But as far as leafy greens, I've never grown them in the soil yet. I think I'd lose a lot of them because I have a lot of animals outside.
Yeah, I have a little bit easier time. The flavor, I don't really notice that much of a difference in either one. But some of them, like the tomatoes, once the tomatoes get going, I've noticed that it's, when I used to grow in soil, the water would be out of whack in that, and tomatoes would split or get blossom end rot real easy, and all kinds of. And I noticed with the hydroponics, it's not that maybe it's because they have a consistent amount of water that they don't never like overindulge, and so I found some things like easier to grow, and the taste, is about the same to me. Some with soil, if you've been working your soil and tending it and babying it and composting and doing things for years and years and years, and you have a fantastic soil, you might have a little better tasting tomato. Or like greens, I don't notice much of a difference. Maybe like just because they have the water all the time. I know lettuce, if it gets a little dry and that they can get a little bitter tasting or get a little tough. And I think because you have a constant supply of water with it, that the plant just gets what it needs all the time. It doesn't ever go through like periods of stress.
Right.
And I think that to me it tastes better. I never get them where they taste really bitter. Thank you for the live stream. Yeah, appreciate everyone, and anybody that just has to drop out. We're gonna chat for a couple more minutes, and we'll be back on. Fantastic chat. Thank you, Amy, and thanks for dropping in. Well, it's been late. It's been fun. Yep, we'll catch you later, Canadian. We'll catch you. Thanks for stopping in.
Night, TT.
For the live stream.
Kimberly, have a good night. Lotus. Thank you.
Noted, everybody. Yep. Good night. And congratulations. Who we have here? Big Al and Joel. I'll get that mailed off to you too. And anybody else who hasn't got a prize, like I said, I think I've got everybody, but it was like 4 months ago and they never got it and they didn't want to bother me. But if you didn't get it, you need to bother me because, I won't know. It got lost in the mail over Christmas. So if anybody has won anything and I haven't mailed it to you, let me know. Just email me at the one that's linked up here and we'll get it out to you. Thanks.
Yeah, I got you sent me. So how big of a thing is that supposed to fill?
Each packet?
Yeah.
I do little 5x5 grow pads.
Okay.
So you can spray out a little thinner if you want, but basically they all fit like on a 5x5 grow pad.
All right.
Thanks for all the good info. Yeah, if we didn't get to your question or if I missed you in that, make sure you tune in next Monday. We're going to have Adrian on here. We're going to talk to her. We'll do question and answer. And then if you guys really have questions about like a traditional garden, she's going to be around and she raises chickens and everything else. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And let's see, I think that's everybody. All right, Jeff, let me go ahead and sign off and then we'll go ahead and let me holler at you real quick before you take off. When you grow your greens in and out, you have more room in your fridge. Yeah, exactly. And when you get your fridge packed and you get your greens in there, they get pushed in the back and then they end up going in the compost anyway. You pull it out and it's all wilted or it gets too cold. And yeah, I love to be able to go outside and just grab a handful of stuff and just use it and not, digging through the fridge. And it's just wonderful having like a salad bar in your backyard. Good night. Good night. Good night. All righty. We'll catch y'all later. Keep on growing. Live and inspire.